YouTube. There we are live.
Yippee!
I think today we are going to be building off of what we've talked about in previous streams, which is basically drawing anime heads from any angle. Do you want to bring up the drawing that I did?
Yes. I'm just going to put it up in here.
There we go. So something like this. This was like a quick thing that I did before stream.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go live on TikTok
Actually,
as
we have
well.
a-
We have no green screen on that side.
back. Do you want to start live after?
No, we are already live on YouTube.
Okay.
Um,
I actually really like how you did these heads here. It's very good.
anime heads from any angle. I guess I'll just do that. So there we go.
Awesome.
I have to fix this. I didn't realize it wasn't.
That's okay.
Is the okay. It's not plugged in.
Hey, Lexi. Always on time. Hi, Grandma. Hi, Michi. Hey, Dahlia. Oh, yep. We're good. Hello, Paffa.
Applejack
What's he doing?
sneaking around like a little sneako.
Hello, hello. We're going to be talking about heads in perspective and, of course, some tutorials. So, welcome. Gotta draw the obligatory Miki before starting the whole lesson. Hey, Kat. How are you doing? Honestly, pretty heckin' cute, this pose. Or this head angle. Napoleon, Julie, hello. Toby. Say hi, Toby Poopfoot.
Guess what little idiot stepped in his own poop before stream today?
Oh, he doesn't like
Ugh,
that.
You silly.
He doesn't like that, don't you?
What is it?
He probably doesn't like that. I'm sorry.
What happened?
He doesn't. I don't know. I think he's just feeling a little bit like sulky, feisty.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, we're doing good.
There we go. Put that on.
No problem, Dahlia.
Put that. So yeah, that's why we didn't
man,
get
hold up.
everything prepared before stream.
Because
Because he was running around with poop foot again. Almost every single time he poops, he steps in it before he leaves the litter box, and I cannot figure out.
I'm not sure.
I have no idea why it's so annoying.
I don't know if he'll just grow out of it.
He probably will.
I hope he does.
He'll grow out of it, or he'll grow out of our house. No, I'm
Hey.
kidding. Nah, he's Stan.
He's staying.
How's everybody doing?
Now let's draw Miko.
All right. But Applejack was being good.
Mm-hmm.
He's cute.
I need to actually practice more of these like really, really difficult head angles, and that's why we're doing this stream.
He doesn't have the software update.
Yeah, no,
has
he
the,
doesn't.
The poopware update. So what's up?
I don't know. I'm just drawing a little bit.
doodling?
Yeah, just doodling. Feel free to ask any questions about head angles. I mean, if you want, we could even start with the lecture.
I mean,
Or not
that's what I
lecture,
thought
but
we were doing.
oh yeah, sure.
Can't stay him at the mall. Awesome. Hey, Kat, Michi, Pafa, Lexi.
Yep. So, I think you're better at teaching this, but I'll try my best. So when it comes to drawing head angles, we actually talked about Kren's cubes the other few streams ago. Colton actually has a video on it, and he goes through this whole thing right here. Let me actually pull this up onto the reference. And why can't I move this thing?
Because you're going too fast.
Oh,
It needs to be like right on the edge.
yeah, and I need to actually move it too to see so that people can see on screen. Yeah, I don't use this reference
I hate
thing
the
that
reference
much.
tool
It's
in
not
Procreate.
very.
It kind of sucks.
It does
but-
kind of suck. I'd rather just use it on another layer. But this is basically what Kren's cubes look like. It's finding different angles and ratios
Yeah. These aren't
using grid.
necessarily. I guess these Kren's cubes are okay.
Yeah. So what is the brush? Thank you. You can get this brush in our profile.
Anyways, what were you saying?
Just Kren's cubes. And there's, man, I'm not fluent at teaching this right now, but the way how we can get Kren's cubes to look good is by starting off with a grid. Let's actually move. You know what? I'm just going to remove this reference features. It's actually bothering me. You want it on?
Because it has a bunch of images that we need.
It does have a bunch of images, but we do have like images on the file. So
Where?
in here,
Well, that's just mine.
that is just yours. Anyways, so the way we get started with Kren's cubes is we start off with a square. To make sure that all sides are even.
Yeah. So this is just going to be a quick recap of something we covered on another stream. And we're
Yes.
probably not going to do all the dividing and everything like this.
Okay.
I thought we were going to skip that because we already talked about it. And it takes a really long time to go through.
It does take a long time.
Yeah.
I think
I would just do like front
Okay.
22 and a half. Why is this so stinking huge?
It's not. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather just import.
I just import the image.
Yeah, I'll import the image.
Hello, Mina. Yeah, so I would just say,
Yeah, there we go.
as a recap, let's just go through like a recap of the cubes, which is like, you know, you
Yep.
have the front, you have the 22 and a half, 45, 67 and a half, all that kind of thing.
So 22 and a half means you're showing
Hey, Koi.
it's a 1-to-3 ratio, which looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
This side is less dominant. This side's more dominant. Half and half is where the corner is directly in the center, and it kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3, like a hexagon in a way,
Huh?
like a hexagon on its side.
I guess, yeah. If you remove the middle.
Yeah, if we remove the middle. Looks like that. And then it turns the other side, which will basically be the reverse of this 1-to-3. So let me actually do this. 1-to-3, 2-to-2, 2-by-2, and then 3-by-1. Which is now that this side is more dominant, and we'll only see a sliver of the other side. Ah, there we go. Now we have cubes rotating in different angles with different ratios, so it's actually really easy to find if the head or whatever that you're turning in space is like at a 45-degree angle or at a 22.5-degree angle and
Which
stuff
is
like
half
that.
of
Which is
45.
half of 45,
So
yeah.
this is really just,
0
see-
degrees. Sorry.
you see all of the front right here. Stupid TikTok window. Okay. Sorry, TikTok crops the iPad like crazy, so we have to try to keep it in the middle. Front, 100% of the front. This one, 75% of the front, 25% of the left. This one, 50% of the front, 50% of the left. This one, 75% of the left, 25% of the front. And then this one, which she hasn't drawn yet, is going to be a square again, and it's just going to be the side. So 100% of the side. Like that.
Yep.
And this is the kind of the basis for Kren's cubes, right? So this would be a there, kind of like a 25-degree incremental rotations like that. Yep.
Let's actually make them small so it's easier to see on the TikTok window.
Sure. There we go.
Yep.
And then these go up and down as well, so that it'll go in 4 directions, right? So it'll go this way, it'll go this way, it'll go this way, and it'll go that way as you rotate the cube different directions, like that. So do you maybe just
Yeah, I'll draw them.
like maybe just the lower ones?
Sure. So now we're basically going to take this and move up and down. And it's basically the same boxes, just going downward instead.
Yeah.
So we have one where the top is slightly visible and the front is 75%.
Yes. Hey, Shiro, Lao
Half and half.
came back from a summer program. Nice. Love what we do, Bobby, with your books a while ago. Awesome.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
I hope you like them. Trouble keeping the character looking consistent at different angles. A lot of practice and also practicing this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Could you try drawing a head over a circle? That comes next. This is the part before that.
Yeah.
This is going to be the part before drawing a head, starting with a circle.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part where you find the perspective.
Yep. So if you look at this, you turn it over to the other side, it's basically the same boxes, right? 1/3, or I don't know, 1x3, 2x2, 3x1.
Yeah. So you're really just drawing the same box over, just at different orientations.
Yes.
Like that's what a lot of this is. I don't know if I have any of these in this sketchbook. Maybe.
Ooh, thank you for the follows.
But it essentially ends up looking like this.
Yep.
This is the exact thing. So right now she's drawn
This quadrant.
this one and this line going down.
Mm-hmm.
And so then in between these, you're going to see the box from different angles, just like that. And the colors help to differentiate the sides.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to put colors on them.
Yeah, I think colors on them is actually fun. It's
Yeah,
like
I
a little
think it
coloring
helps a lot.
project. So now what we're going to do is fill in the rest, and now we're going to take this and just show a little bit of the top side and show more of that top side until we reach this point.
Mm-hmm.
So here, we got to make sure that the corner is roughly in the same area. So we see one part side, one part top.
How to draw a head on a box. That is
That's what we're gonna be
exactly what
doing.
this is about. We're just drawing the boxes right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Fox.
We just got to make sure that the ratios of all these boxes are similar.
I don't have any flavored juice today.
You don't, huh? Well, yeah. You have flavored tea.
Yeah. And so the trusty Rubik's Cube, again, what this is we basically got, you know, if we zoom out on this a little bit, we've taken the front and we've gone down like that. And then we've gone over like that. And then we're going down this
Diagonally.
way like that. That's really what's happening here. This is an extremely important skill. It's the one nobody ever wants to practice.
Mm-hmm. And yes, we are going to be drawing these heads inside these cubes. So that's what we're trying to build up to.
Yeah, like this is the part before anything else.
Yeah.
Like this is the beginning. And so that side of that cube tends to be basically a diamond shape.
Yeah. Actually, I think I need to make this a little bit smaller right here.
Yes, that is coming up. At some point in the stream, could you show how to draw a head in a cube? Yes, but most people can't even draw the cube.
Yeah.
So they think they can, but they actually can't. And
Right.
that's why we cover this, because some people are like, dang, I can't even draw a cube. I need to learn. This is the foundation below that. Later on in the stream, I don't know where it is exactly. Later on in the stream, this is basically what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, this is like a sketch that I did before stream, just as a little, like a demo. But it's basically like this. So then we put the cranium in, we put the center line of the face in, and these boxes end up becoming the perspective grid.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have this practice on YT?
This is the practice on YT.
Yes. We're also
Well, yes, we're going to make a video on it, but this stream is going to be available on our YouTube channel always, because we are actually streaming there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can actually go rewatch this stream anytime you want.
Yep.
Look at Applejack.
Hi, Applejack, being so
He's chilling.
demure. Oh, that's so nice. We should get another separate webcam at some point for kitty cam. So this, I think, is the trickiest one, because it can look like really odd, but what I find is it's basically a square with like very, very squished diamonds
Yeah.
on the side, like this. And to make sure that all these lines are going the same direction, all these lines
Oh, going back to the
are
same
going back to
vanishing
the same
point.
vanishing point, yeah.
Yeah.
And I basically just rinse and repeat.
Sounds simple on paper, but is deceptively difficult at first. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's very difficult.
This is the thing everybody thinks they're above.
Yeah.
And all of the pros, the only reason they're pros is because they've done all of these hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm.
The beginners understand it in here. You know, the pros understand it
Here.
in their hand.
Here and
because they've
hand.
just done it so many times.
Yeah. So this is where we would still have that half and half ratio, but we'll see a little bit of the top.
So I'm guessing this is better than just using spheres. No, it's just different.
Yeah, it's just different.
It's a different way to understand it. A sphere looks like a circle no matter what direction you look at it. So for people who are beginners, it's difficult to pull a very particular perspective out of a sphere because it looks the same from any angle.
Yeah.
So it can be confusing.
This one's, I think, a little bit challenging sometimes.
So it's just different.
Yeah. It's just another different way to break down heads in different angles.
Yeah.
There's no, like, best way. It's just different ways that it depends on the person if it
What
works
I like
for
to
them.
do when I think about these ones is I think about these ones are going back to the same vanishing point.
Oh,
And
okay.
these ones are going back to the same vanishing point. It tends to help the...
Yeah.
And then, of course, a lot of the time I'll just angle these ones down here in slightly.
Oh, that looks good.
Like that?
Yeah. I make sure that all these diamonds are roughly about the same size.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a hexagon, but like divided by 3 diamonds. I guess I'll redraw this really quick because it's a little bit messy.
Yeah. Curious to where the cheekbone goes. I guess the simplest way to talk about the cheekbone, there's so much like preliminary prep work that comes before placing the cheekbone, like preliminary knowledge.
There we go.
In simplest terms, the cheekbone, it really just comes off as an arc from the ear. Like,
yeah.
the cheekbone particularly, if we take one of these heads, you're going to take this arc. I'm on the wrong layer. You're just going to take an arc down here, and this is going to be the cheekbone right here. That's basically it. So you take an arc from the ear. Well, technically in real life it's from the center of the ear because you got, you know,
The brow ridge and the eyes.
this part like that in the skull, and that, like, the skull defines the cheekbone, right? So like you basically have got like that shape, right?
Ooh.
And this would be the cheekbone. But in really, really simple terms, you basically would just pull an arc down from the ear right here that would define that kind of side plane of the face. So you'd essentially have a really simplified skull, which would look like, you know, this, and your cheekbone would be right there. But like I said, it's a lot of preliminary knowledge. It's not just like, oh, where's the cheekbone? Because obviously it's below your eye. But it's like, how do you place it in perspective is, you know, a really, really difficult part. You want to grab that skull,
Yes.
right? Cheekbone, right here. Here's the middle of the ear, arc down, and that's basically where you would place the cheekbone. Like that sort of thing. So we should learn about anatomy to draw like a pro? Depends what you want to be a pro at. I always say, you know, if you want to draw cars for a living, you don't have to learn any anatomy. If you want to do architecture, you probably don't need to know any anatomy. If you want to be really good at drawing people and faces, you should probably learn anatomy.
Yeah.
There's really no like black and white, like you have to do this, you have to do that.
It depends on what you want to do.
It's so contextual.
So this one is basically like we're almost looking down at this box, so it's going to be looking more like a square than a diamond. And since it's rotated at a 45 degree, you're basically like taking this and just turning it so that these sides are facing the top on up and down.
Found y'all on TikTok. This is awesome.
Awesome.
Hello, Mr. Inks.
Hi.
And hey, Dragon Lucas. I need a skull. They're surprisingly useful.
And I don't think they were really that expensive.
No, they're really cheap.
So I know that this is laborious, but like trust me, the head will fit in this, and you'll see why, because it's all about estimating and seeing the concept of these boxes inside the head angles. And I actually haven't done these ones yet. So this one right here will be rotated only just slightly.
Starting with anatomy is not really a good idea. It's too hard. I would say anatomy is information. Anatomy doesn't teach you how to draw. It's just information about the body and how it works anatomically. So I would say, yeah, like starting with anatomy isn't going to teach you how to draw. It's just going to give you information about the body. This is how to draw. Like this is how you learn how to draw, doing this kind of stuff. Understanding the bicep and the tricep and the brachialis and the radiobrachialis and all that kind of stuff.
All that crazy stuff.
That's not going to teach you how to draw. It just gives you information on the body. You then have to take your drawing ability and apply your knowledge to it, through a difficult process of practicing a lot.
So basically, anatomy can be optional because I want to be a realism artist. I think if you want to be a realism artist, which means like representational art, being accurate with what you are wanting to draw, I think you would need to learn some basic anatomy to be more accurate. But that also comes with the process of understanding proportion and forms. And it's not just anatomy. Like anatomy is more than just the muscles.
Yeah, pretty much all realism artists spend a considerable amount of time studying how the world works. Lighting, materials, anatomy, figure drawing, composition, a lot of different things, So like if you do want to be, and it depends on what kind of realism, because you could be a realism artist that only draws flowers, and they're very realistic flowers, and so you never would need to learn anatomy if you only ever want to draw flowers. Like there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Yeah. So I actually noticed that these two boxes are basically mirrored. So what I would do would be like, oh, how do I draw this box? I'm like, well, it's just this flipped to the other side. That's how I like to think of those things.
I just want to draw awesome chibis with fun foreshortening. That's fun.
That is fun. We actually do have a chibi class
already, but I want to get better. Awesome. Yeah, Christina actually has a chibi class.
If you don't have it already, I'm just saying though. But we cover a lot on chibis.
It's like 16 hours long. It's all about chibis. Lots of facial expressions, poses.
Creating your own characters, making character reference sheets.
It's really cool stuff. If you're interested in that, I could link it in the chat for you on YouTube. What's the best way to study anatomy besides staring at them 24/7? Draw them a bunch of times. I would legit just say, get an anatomy book. Here's Bridgman's Constructive Anatomy. You just, go to a page and copy these and draw them and label them. One of the best ways to learn anatomy is just draw through repetition, right? Here's some of the muscles of the arm. Because again, it's like, what do you do when you're a kid when you have to learn how to write? What do you do when you're a kid? Like, what does your school make you do?
Repeat these exercises.
Right? You've got a bunch of lines.
I'll move it over a little bit.
You've got a bunch of lines. And all you do, A, B, B. Except this is an arm. This is a leg. That's how you learn. That's how you memorize things. You just repetition.
Yeah.
And all of your first ones are probably going to look terrible.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. It's not about them looking good. It's about learning and understanding them. Like, you show up at school and you're like literally like a toddler or something, and they're just like, all right, today we're going to start writing the alphabet. Like, your first sheets aren't going to turn out. You're not going to know you're not going to know what the letters are. It's just how people learn things. So my advice, right? This isn't the only way to learn it. It's arguably, whether or not it's the best, I don't know. This is how most people learn it because it works. Repetition. Draw it over and over and over.
Find a process and repeat. It's simple, but it takes some discipline. But you can find fun in the discipline. Like, this is basically what I would consider like the 3D alphabet. If you want to draw dimensionally and understand boxes in perspective and finding like what rotation it's at, like this is like your alphabet.
Yeah, this is that alphabet. Loving this, been needing a refresher. Do you guys do live criticism of follower artworks? We have not yet, but we have tossed around the idea of doing it at some point. If we do, we would announce in the Discord server before we do. That's actually something that we wanted to try.
Yeah.
That's legit on our list of things to do. So if you want to join the Discord server, you can send us a DM and ask for the invite, or you can find the invite on our website, drawanime.com. It's a big Discord server. There's 3,474 members, a bunch of people, having fun, sharing their art. A lot of people working on Art Fight right now, although Christine and I aren't doing Art Fight right now.
Nah.
Can I get an invite? Yes. Go ahead and send us a direct
DM.
message
And
on
ask us.
TikTok.
Yes.
And yes, ask for an invite. Because I can't actually DM you in the chat. You have to send us a DM. But I can post the invite link into the chat.
So the fun thing is, after that, these two are basically the same exact boxes because it's fully rotated to the other side, therefore they look the same. So any box that you're drawing basically looks like another box, and it's all the same, all the same. You're basically only drawing like 6 boxes that all look the same. They're just in slightly different orientations. So that's what makes it feel a bit less daunting. It's kind of like drawing anatomy.
I'm catching up on streaks really quick before I
Okay.
forget. There we go. Okay, 2 requests.
Thank you, Veronica, for the follow, and thank you, Onyx, Aswin, Ranja for the follow. And Igra?
There we
Ikra?
go.
I don't remember.
And here's another invite. Paste.
So,
there we go.
One more thing to notice is that I'm not doing these perfectly. I'm just kind of going by feel. If you want to do these perfectly, there's a way to do them. You basically draw a grid and you try to match the ratios up and stuff. But since I'm doing these freehand, it's not always going to be perfect, and I'm not expecting to be perfect. I'm just thinking, does this feel like a 3-to-1? Does this feel like a 2-by-2? Stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about as well. Darius and Kloops. I don't know how to say that name. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Emma Wemma. All right, so now what we're doing is drawing heads in these Kren's cubes.
If you're looking for that chibi class, whoever asked about that, there's a link to where you can find out more about it if you're interested.
I'm going to duplicate this because I don't want to lose it. What did I do?
What's Art Fight? It's some online thing where people draw each other's characters. Emma Wemma, hello. Darius. I need to read out some of these follows on.
Yes, I actually read some already.
Oh, interesting. I was completely locked in.
It's okay. You kind of blot out everything when you're locked in, so that's fine.
Yeah. Box rotation is so hard. I did some by imagination today. Yeah, box rotation is hard, but it gets a lot easier when you do them a bunch.
Actually, I don't really like... Okay, this is on a separate layer. I'm just going to erase all this. All right. So when you're drawing a front view, it's basically all symmetrical.
So here's the circle that everybody was asking about.
Yes.
This is not technically a circle, it's a sphere, but from our point of view, it is a circle.
Yeah, because when we rotate this, we're going to be basically showing different sides of the sphere. But understand that you can basically create a sphere with a box. So that's, another thing. If you want to practice drawing bodies, where should I start?
Figure drawing.
Figure drawing.
I would recommend figure drawing.
Yes. We actually have a video on YouTube about figure drawing and drawing the body, starting with a basic process. It's on our YouTube channel, so you can check that out if you want immediate information on that.
Yeah, what's the video called?
It's called it's kind of a long title. 1 second, gotta find it. If you hate drawing figures, use this method. That's what it's called. And it looks like it's this one right there with the nice figures in here.
Yeah.
How to draw bodies.
That's a good it's a good starting point. A lot of people, they want to draw figures, they want to draw people, and so they kind of start diving into anatomy and not really knowing what to study first. But anatomy is not really what people study to draw really good looking bodies and characters. They don't, anatomy is part of it, but they spend a lot more time doing figure drawing because it focuses on the holistic view of a character instead of just individual muscles and shapes of those muscles.
Yeah. So now what I'm thinking about is, notice I'm actually not trying to fit this head inside the box. I'm only using this box to gauge my perspective angle and stuff like that. So when you see me drawing these heads later, I'm not even going to be drawing inside and trying to calculate all the proportions inside this box. I'm just going to use it for the perspective and find the ratios. So this front view is going to be symmetrical. We're going to see a center line from the middle, and this is all equal. So when you're drawing proportions and you're drawing features, just make sure that they're all basically the same size.
Okay, so Leo with the arrows is I Eat Children, which is
okay.
also pterodactyl, correct?
Ew. Pterodactyl. Okay, yeah, I've heard.
Okay. So, a couple questions. How did you guys find your art style? I didn't.
I didn't.
It just appeared as I drew the things I liked.
Yep.
And I would recommend taking that. If you really want to develop a certain art style, study it. If you don't know what your art style is and don't really care, just trust that your interests are going to guide you to your art style. If you like drawing really colorful stuff, you're going to draw colorful stuff and you're going to get better at it. If you like drawing, you know, whatever, like certain types of characters, you're going to get better at it naturally by doing it. Art style is that thing that you don't really need to pay attention to at all, and it will just happen based on you'll just naturally develop it based on your interests.
Yep.
I did just your drawing for 3 months and just started diving into learning anatomy from Proco. Nice. Proco's a great channel.
Proco is a great channel.
My friend who draws more realism art is feeling down, says his teacher said to copy for his life, and now he doesn't actually know anything about art, so he doesn't know what to start with. First off, I would just throw out, like, if you don't like what a teacher said, just throw out everything that they said from your mind and start fresh, like blank slate.
Yeah.
Like if it's the difference between you literally lose your passion for art, like I would just basically say everything that teacher told me is obsolete if it's killed my passion for art. Secondly, just like kind of follow your passions. Just be like, what do I find interesting? What do I want to draw? And start there. Like, what makes me excited? What makes me, fired up and interested in creating?
So here is where I would show the side of my sphere. As we turn, the center line is going to change a little bit. It's going to shift a little bit to the side, and we'll actually see the side of the sphere. Wow. But in the front view, it's just straight on. So it's like the center line is straight. Here is where things start to move. This starts to curve a little bit, and we're showing that in here. How do you use Procreate? I have the app, but just don't know how to use it. Open up a canvas, pick a brush, add a layer, and draw.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just start testing stuff.
Just start testing.
If you want to try a digital art program and you don't know how, I would say just focus on the very, 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 very basics. Just try to replicate what you can do with a pencil and paper.
Yep.
Because, like, that's all you really need. And then slowly expand. Yes, a previous art teacher had ruined my passion before. Yeah, our teachers are just people. Like, they're just grumpy road rage drivers.
They're not gods.
They're just people. And a lot of people aren't even good people. So, like, if an art teacher told you something and you didn't like it, throw it out. Who cares? Like, you don't listen to some random person at the grocery store who critiques what you're buying in food. Like, I don't see why an art teacher who's just a random person should be any different. Like, if you don't like anything that we're saying, just don't listen to it.
Yeah, you don't have to use it.
It's like, it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it doesn't offend me at all. If what we have doesn't work for you, totally fine. I was thinking about enrolling in anime art school and was just wondering if most of the principles that were taught I would be able to apply to traditional art. All of the principles, yes, we do focus on foundation. So, like, these are your art foundations. It's kind of like an art college. Although in anime art school, there are a bunch of, we do use digital. So if you're going to be doing the illustrations, there's going to be certain effects, layer settings, and different stuff that you won't be able to do. But the vast majority of the school is like foundational stuff that doesn't have to do with technology. You would technically be able to follow along with traditional, although it would be difficult, I would say. A lot of people aren't even good people. Yeah, it's true. Like, I mean, you get a random art teacher. He's just some, like, grumpy old dude who, like, doesn't even enjoy life. Like, why listen to him?
Yeah. I personally think that the head that I drew here is actually more of a half and half. So what I would do is I'll be like, okay, I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to have to redraw this. I'm just going to move this over to the side and say that's my 2x2. And I'm going to redraw this one. And just try to draw the in-between. Yeah. So if you're finding trouble with, like, oh, well, this doesn't look like this angle and this one is maybe another angle, you can basically say this and this, what's in the middle? So I would basically go even subtler with this angle.
Yeah. How is everybody, what? I'm just, like, glitched. How is everybody doing today anyways? Like, anything going on interesting? You guys are nicer teachers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. How to make the head not bigger than the torso. Measure proportionally. Like, look back and forth between them. You know, like, if I draw a circle, and then I draw another circle next to it, like, make one circle smaller and one circle bigger. Just practice, you know?
Yep.
You know, it's just a, just practice, you know?
So the 1:3 ratio head is actually going to be very similar to the front view. It's just going to be a very, very slight turn. So all you would really need to do is just shift the features over a little bit to the side.
Yeah. Just woke up. Nice. Been practicing art all summer. That's great. You are our type of person.
Yes.
I love it. Trying to figure out how to animate. That's fun. Tota, thank you for the follow. I did ask how everyone was doing. I'm okay. Currently prepping myself up. Awesome. On heads. Recently stumbled across an instruction that helped me a lot. Hello, Ionder. Just submitted an animation to a contest. That's fun.
Oh, awesome.
Saving this playlist to the and gonna watch later. Thank you. Awesome. How are we two doing? Doing good.
Doing great.
We're doing pretty good, you know. Been feeling pretty good lately. Finished 13 art pieces in 5 days. My head hurts. Awesome.
Hey, take a break whenever you need it. But that's good.
Art. Nice.
So now you can see that the head is now starting to rotate.
Started drawing an hour ago. The fact that I found this might be a sign. Ooh, awesome.
Yes, it is a sign. For sure.
That is a sign. Welcome aboard.
May I ask, how do I make the colors more vibrant and appealing? I've been struggling colors recently. I would say contrast.
Yeah. Color theory, but when it comes to colors, less generally is more. In, like, contrast, like if you overpower the brain with a bunch of intense colors, it's actually going to not feel like they're quite as intense. So like learning restraint. The same works with value, like lightness and darkness. If you go 100% light, 100% dark, you've already like reached the two extremes. So the way that like really high level painters make very vibrant colors is actually through limiting themselves as much as possible.
Subtlety.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways to show like color contrast. You know, some of it could be like complementary colors. Some of it could be, you know, is a color light or darker than the other? Is it more saturated or desaturated?
Yeah. Sweeter. Hello. Went shopping at Hobby Lobby and got watercolor paper and sketchbook. Nice, on sale. That's great.
That's great. I love finding those steals.
Will you also do how to draw the body in poses? Maybe we could probably cover that later.
I'm actually making a video on poses currently, so you can stay tuned for that.
Coloring and drawing are two different skills. They overlap a little bit in certain foundations. Like perspective in painting is the same as perspective in drawing. Form is the same. But painting is the indication of light, and drawing is the indication of edge. So that's basically how it works. Like painting is you're indicating form through light, but you don't need light if you're drawing. Like none of these heads have any lighting information on them.
So
it's just based on edge.
Which is the drawing.
You can include light information in drawing, and you can include edge information in painting, but generally speaking. So some of them overlap for sure. Like, you know, scale, perspective, design, like a lot of those things. Do you have certain brush settings or brush packs we can purchase? The brush that's being used on stream right now is available for free if you want it. You know, I almost made a joke about that Zalis, but I was just like, no, I'm keeping this PG.
What?
If you want to know more, you can look at the YouTube chat. Do you guys... Yeah, so Hannah... yeah, you just go to drawanime.com. It'll bring you to the page. I can literally show you. So on our TikTok, you can go to our profile. You hit the link. It'll pop up. This will come up. you hit open, and that green button, digital brush. You have to open this in your browser. You can't download it from the TikTok app, but it's literally just a Google Drive download to this brush. It is an ABR file, so that means it's a Adobe brush. It'll work in Procreate. It will work in Clip Studio Paint. It will work in Photoshop. I don't know about others. Mm-hmm. If you want an easier way to get the brush, you can also just type !brush in any of the Discord channels, and it will send you that exact link. Roasted peanut butter, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we did front, 22.5 degree angle, 45 degree angle, 67.5 degree angle, and 90 degrees.
Yes.
So actually, let me write this down. This is 22.5 degrees. Add another 22.5 is 45.
Mm-hmm. So the reason it's 22.5 is just because that's half of 45.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's...
Take 0.
Yeah.
Oh, 45 divided by 2 is 22.5.
Yeah, so you got your cube. You rotate it halfway, so both sides are equal. That's 45. You go halfway between that. It's 22.5 degrees. So it basically just looks like that. Mm-hmm. It's not like a complicated measurement or anything. It just happens to be that. And then 67.5 is, of course...
Oh, the other way.
Going the other way, like that.
Yep. And then the side is 90 degrees.
Yep. So you're basically going from the front to the left side with this.
So this is what I'm thinking of. I'm going to use this in color. I'm not thinking about like, oh, is this fitting in the square? I'm thinking, no, I see a big chunk of the front.
Yeah.
Little chunk of the side.
Yeah, so one thing... Yeah, that's perfect. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I do want to warn is that if you're just getting started in doing this, it's very easy to get wrapped up with, oh no, my head needs to fit in my box. That's actually not what she's doing at all. She's not even trying to make the head even the same size every time. Mm-hmm. What she's trying to do is get the same angle as the box, using the box as reference, but it doesn't have to fit within the box. She's not... Like, you can see, like, that one goes outside of the box a lot. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't matter.
And the reason is because the head is a very organic thing. It's not like a perfect...
Yeah.
I mean, there's just bumps and stuff everywhere. So you can't really guess it completely. You just got to, like, estimate it. And does this feel like a 67.5 degree, right? Does it feel like it's turning away from us where we only see just a little bit of this side now?
Yeah, so I do notice that a lot of people who are just learning this get really wrapped up on trying to fit the head in the box. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Don't even worry if it goes outside of the box. If it's inside of the box, it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, now we see the complete side.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like it should be more like, here's this actual side.
Pepper, Moon, Envy, The Very Tired Girl, Cooper, Ed, thank you for the follows. Actually, The Very Tired Girl shared. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Inya, thanks for the follow. That's something that I used to get really wrapped up.
Me too.
Really wrapped up about.
You know how I used to construct heads? Because I thought I had to do this. Mm-hmm. I would go and, let's say, like, I'll draw like a box right here. Mm-hmm. I thought I would have to go like, oh, fit the box. Oh,
and it needs to touch the sides.
It needs to touch the sides completely. Like, oh, here's the ear. And, oh, like, I'm going to extrude this out and make it touch the sides of the box. And it would just take way too long.
You can do that.
You can.
It's just, this isn't that exercise. Like, the thing that we're teaching is not that exercise. Mm-hmm. The head is kind of based on a box, but it's very rounded. Like, if you look at the skull from a top view, this is extremely rounded. Like, if I put something flat against it, like this pen, right? It's extremely curved. It's extremely curved. Same thing from the bottom. Like, even this teeth area, you know, is even more curved. So trying to fit this inside of a box is pretty difficult to do.
Do they need to fit in if you're doing more realistic?
Not necessarily.
No.
Because the box is just a box. It's like, imagine if you had like this skull.
It's just your orientation.
Right? Imagine if you had this skull and I put it inside of a cardboard box. I could fit this skull in any box larger than the skull, right? And it would still be a realistic skull. Like, I could put it in a box that's that's this big, that's this big, that's this big. It doesn't matter. It's just basically a reference point. Like the box is the reference point.
Yep.
Where did bro get a skull? These are like $12 on Amazon. They're super cheap.
How do I come up with my own original ideas like hairstyles and clothes? Wow, we got a lot of follows. Should we
Yeah.
read them up?
Sure. I read those ones. Not a cat joined. I wonder why that like stuck there for some reason. I can't read
Shenka?
that. Shenka. Thank you for the follow. Lange Poog. Thank you for the follow. Ellie. Laced Love. Thank you for the follow. My skull, but give it back. You, I don't want to be mean in any way, shape, or form, but you have a very small head. It's the size of it's smaller than my fist.
Small brain?
You might want to get that checked out. No.
I want to get that checked out. So this, now I'm going to be moving my head down a little bit. And so all I have to do is basically just draw the same front view head, but instead I'm going to start moving my features down just a little bit.
Hello, I'm new and this is my first time watching you. I've really just started to learn to draw, have a bunch of books, and been honestly learning how to draw circles. Is that good or no? Well, it's not bad.
It's not bad. Let me think.
What do you want to get good at? Like,
Yeah.
I guess I would say contextually, like, what do you want to learn how to draw? Like, what is your point for starting drawing? And we can go from there. This will be archived in YouTube? Yes. All of our streams. We are streaming on YouTube right now as well. So if you hear me answering a question or reading something that you don't see, it's probably in the other chat. Can't believe Colton could do something as cruel as stealing someone's tiny head. I didn't steal it. Look, their comment said that's why I sent it to get examined. They sent this to me. And I'm examining it, and I'm saying you might want to get that checked out by a specialist. Hi, other chat.
Technically, I feel like
Yeah.
I always tend to make this a little bit too low, so I'm going to take this and just copy and paste it.
Yeah, Micah, thank you for the follow. A lot of new people here.
Awesome. Welcome. So this is actually more like 2x2 because we can see a lot of the top and a lot of the bottom, so it feels even. So all I have to do here is take this and just move it up just a tiny bit more to make it feel like a 3x1. And I'm using the wrong layer. There we go.
Yeah.
Now that feels like this is straight on. Here we have moved down just a tiny bit. This one we moved more. And notice that it didn't even change the head shape. I just moved the features down.
Yeah.
And it still gets that illusion across.
Couple questions. How do I get the other eye to look the same? I would say draw guidelines.
Draw guidelines. Like,
Draw
actually, we have a
guidelines.
video on that, too. How to draw both eyes at any angle.
Yes, that's actually on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
It's literally a video called How to Draw Both Eyes at Any Angle, and it's about keeping them the same.
I mean,
Look at Applejack. He's just sleeping
aw,
away.
that's so nice. Yay.
I'll take a little picture of him.
Take a picture and then we'll show it to chat. So basically the concept is you draw a center line or draw a line, and this is like your dividing line. You can draw a shape on one side. Okay, let's show it. Oh,
There he is.
such a cute baby. Applejack, you're so cute.
Yeah, he is cute.
So then you take this and just try to mirror it onto the other side. And by drawing guidelines, you could take this length, move it over to the other side, estimate. You know, here I like to find the closest point to the midline and mark a point. So I can see this distance and this distance are roughly the same. And then I'll move it up. Just estimate. Just get a rough estimate. It doesn't have to be perfect. Here we go. Boom. Now I got a triangle on the other side. That looks,
Yep.
you know,
And you can turn that into an eye.
Yeah, can turn that into
It's
the eye.
really easy to turn that into an eye.
Yeah.
You just add like a pupil.
Yeah.
Like you can literally basically just do that, and you can make it as detailed as you want.
Yeah, we drew eyes.
And then, of course, if that's over a curved surface, you know, you may end up having something like this. And then let's just say, let's put our like center line right there. It would really be the same thing. All these lines are just curved like that.
Following the perspective.
What's the purpose of drawing flour sacks? It is generally a simplification of the torso, which bends and stretches. A flour sack mimics how to simplify the torso of a body. It's some people may know it as the bean method, but it's really just that concept. So you have like a bend on one side, a stretch on the other, and it really just mimics the torso.
Yep.
How it bends and stretches. It's an exercise. What iPad are you using? iPad Pro 13-inch.
All right, this one is going to be a little bit trickier because we'll see more of the top side of the head, but we'll start seeing the bottom will actually shrink and get narrower.
And it can also help to put like a little wrapping line around the head to show the top as well. Like a lot of the time what I'll do, or like even probably lower.
Oh, lower? Sure.
Because, I mean, look how much of the
Oh,
top
yeah, that's
you're
right.
seeing
It's
it
more
from.
like this.
Yeah. I like to put a little plus sign that marks off the top of the head. You don't have to. I like to.
This one's more like this.
Yeah.
So this marks the top.
What about eyebrows? I struggle with getting those right, the eyebrow ridge. Generally speaking, if you're drawing a girl, the eyebrow ridge is going to be a little bit more arched and higher. If you're drawing a guy, the eyebrow ridge tends to be a little bit lower and more squared off. Obviously, there's exceptions, but, you know, do you want to add eyebrows on that?
Yes.
Or not that one, but like maybe that one up there.
It's already
I
there.
guess you did. See, that's a really arched ridge, which basically implies it's someone either young or it's a girl.
Arched ridge looks more like this. So if this is your eye, here's like the ridge on top. But a more stern one will look more like this. That makes sense. Here's a nose. Here's a nose. This is the eyebrow ridge for a more mature character. It's lower and more angular. This one's rounder. So when you draw on the eyebrow, it follows that curve generally.
The way that I've heard it described is that like a girl's eyebrow ridge is kind of like a fountain.
Ew, ew. Like
Yeah,
that.
like you can see that this shape right here.
Looks like a deer.
Like that shape right there tends to look like that, and then you get these eyebrows really high up there.
Now this is for anime characters, so their eyebrows are naturally a lot higher because the eyes are big.
Kind of does look like a deer.
Wait. Hold up. I feel like that's actually like something. I like that actually. I'm gonna write deer mention. Deer. Deer face.
But like this, for example, right here, this is a guy.
Yeah.
So the guy's brow ridge tends to look like this shape.
Not brow ridge, but the keystone corner.
Yeah, the keystone corner right there, and the brow ridge tends to be, you know, lower. A girl's will tend to be more like
Ew,
that.
ew. Yep.
The guys will tend to be more like that.
Steeper. Shorter.
I say tend because it's like,
It depends on the person.
you know, it depends.
I have ADHD when I draw. I can't draw for a long time, and it's making me sad because I'm not improving.
I have it too. I've actually always had it my whole life.
Yeah, we'll keep that. It's kind of cute. So, if you were someone with ADHD, how would you usually solve it? Not solve it, but like manage it when drawing.
First off, I'd try to eliminate the belief that I can't, because like if I believe I can't, then it's guaranteed that I'm not even gonna try. But like, secondly, the way that I've always dealt with it is I gamify like what I'm doing. I try to, you know, I'll draw my characters. If I'm practicing heads, I'll draw my favorite characters. I'll make stories and use those stories to practice art. You know, but there's like various ways that you can do it.
Downloaded your brush like a while ago, but my brother messed it up. You can re-download it, and it never fixed it.
I don't know.
I have no idea. Maybe it could be like pressure sensitivity that's like outside of the brush's control.
I can't
Solve those
help,
kind of.
I can't really help you fix it, because it's kind of like saying my car doesn't work, can you fix it? It's like, well, there's like a million things that could be wrong with it, so I have no idea. Maybe, let me think.
We'll probably draw hair on top of
Your
these.
brother might have messed up something that's not directly related to the brush. He might have deleted another setting with like your pressure and smoothing or something.
And I don't really know what weird means. Try
Resetting
resetting
app
the
settings could work.
You could try it in the app
good-
settings.
Guys have a wider brow. I wouldn't say it's wider. I would say it's squished.
Squished. Yeah.
It's more not as tall.
I think we'll do hair probably later on, but it's going to be a while because we actually got to draw all the heads. If you want immediate information on how to draw hair, we actually do have a video on that. It's called hair drawing tips you wish you knew earlier, and it's right in here. talks about drawing hair.
I would look up a guide for that. I'm not an expert on Procreate. I barely even use the app, honestly. I just use such basic things. So I would just do like a quick internet search, how to reset app settings, Procreate or something like that. The drawing, yes, will be posted in, what's it called? Live demos.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing to do is just Google it. Yes. Arm muscles. I'm so glad you asked. I don't know. Are we going to go over that today?
We'll see how, because we got to draw heads on all these. So it might take some time.
I would say, did I draw any of the arm muscles in this book?
I don't know. You might have done some in like.
I think so. Oh, yeah, I did a little bit. Well, there's not a lot in here. Just a couple. I didn't really draw a lot of arm muscles. You guys have a YouTube? Yes, we do. It is the same username, Draw Anime Academy.
Mm-hmm.
We are live there right now.
Yep.
And it's a lot of fun. You should go hang out. What's the best average time to practice gesture drawing? I'm doing 30 minutes each session, but get too lazy and do 10-minute poses at the end. I like 30 minutes. 30 minutes is pretty good.
30 minutes is good.
A lot of the time I'll do like 15 to 20 1 minute and 30-second poses to warm up. I love doing gesture drawing. It's really fun. I don't think I have anything that I've done recently. I never save it, or I never like share it anywhere. It's just in my file.
So here, once again, I'm trying to make sure that the placement of the features are very, very subtly turned. We just see a slight bit of distance between the ear itself and the eye. And we see the top of this head right here. So
I would say the best way to practice gesture drawing is to not get distracted and do 10 minutes per pose.
Yeah.
Like, I know it sounds kind of obvious, but if you're getting distracted and doing 10 minutes per pose, I would just, like, make yourself stop. Like, set an actual physical timer, and every time that timer goes off, move on to the next one, even if you've only drawn half the body. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. Sometimes I only get half the body done. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah. What is gesture drawing?
Gesture drawing is just kind of a way to practice the overall flow of, like, a figure. You know, you focus on the gesture, like the overall statement that the pose is making. You don't really focus on anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Different people do gesture drawing in different ways.
It's like the impression. Like, you glance at it, and then you glance away. Like, what's the impression of that pose? That's basically what gesture is.
Bad habit of taking too long to practice anything I draw. I mean, more practice is more practice.
Yeah.
I would try to eliminate the idea that is bad. Like, if you're taking a long time practicing, I can't imagine seeing that as a negative.
Because you're practicing.
Yeah.
Like, who says that there's an ideal time to practice something?
I mean, if you go over, it's like, teacher, I'm so sorry. I did twice the homework. I can't believe this. F. You get an F. Like, I would try to eliminate the idea that that's a bad thing.
The bad thing is
the bad thing is the self-criticism.
The bad thing is the self-criticism and thinking that you're doing a bad job.
Yeah, like, that's great. You know? Yeah. Don't criticize yourself and just be like, I'll just move on to the next thing when I'm ready.
I would say the only time where it becomes a little bit of a problem is when you get paralyzed every single time when it comes to drawing. And it makes you not end up drawing. So I would say any drawing, especially if you're just like learning the first time you're learning, you're not trying to make the most like optimized practice schedule. Like, I don't think we're really expecting you to be like, you have to practice this in order to be good, like, within a few months. It's like, just explore. Like, yeah, just throw yourself on the paper and just figure things out, because that's, I think, one of the most fun parts is I think this is just a side effect or a byproduct of being in, like, the tutorial era, where you basically have tutorials for everything, and you start, like, getting, like, anxious with, like, oh, I need to have a tutorial to practice this right. And I understand, like, that's good to want to practice things right, but sometimes we forget that when we started drawing, we didn't care about those things back then, and all we did was just draw and enjoy. So I think just having a balance between throwing yourself onto the page and seeing what happens and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. From Brazil, love the way you teach. I think that's what it says. Awesome. Welcome. Hi, Mom, Dad. I love you. Hello, Wolfpack. Feel comfortable doing 2 minutes per gesture sketch. If I feel like I didn't do justice, I do it again quickly if I have time left over. Yeah, or just restart the pose. Fine, yeah. Or just like literally restart. Do another 2 minutes, do the same exact pose again. Like that's also totally legit. How do you keep consistent facial features in various angles? Draw the character a bunch of times.
Yep.
Like how to make the same character. Draw the character a bunch of times. It goes back to that repetition.
Mm-hmm. Like when I'm drawing this, I'm keeping in mind, what's the eye shape? How big is the eyes compared to the head? How do I move that down a little bit so that the essence of the character still looks the same?
Like this really conscious practice. Like, is this eye a circular shape, a triangular shape, an oval shape? Like what? And then you just try it a whole bunch of times. Like try it over and over. Do you guys post your art anywhere? Not really. I have an art station. I could just show you my art if you want. I could get my iPad. It's been a long time since we've showed any of our art, honestly.
Yeah, it has.
I hadn't even thought about it forever. I think I have it on my phone.
So notice that when it comes to this angle, the mouth and the nose are really, really close together because they kind of overlap each other, while the eyes are just a little bit farther apart. Creating that distance will make it feel more like you're looking down at this person. So I'm trying to do the same thing here. I noticed that the nose comes out a little bit. The mouth goes underneath.
My art is really disorganized on here, dude.
Mine too. You know, if I want to draw this person looking down, I can draw the eyelid looking down like this. The eyebrows a little bit higher.
And it's just an exercise, like, as well. Like, I would do these a bunch of times.
Colton, what do you think about the concept of, like, well, I want to practice things right?
Practicing things right is just practicing them. It's like this...
Because I think a lot of people
hesitation,
ask.
I think. It's like, how do I practice this right? I don't want to practice it wrong. And it's like, well, maybe you practice it, like, quote, wrong in the beginning, but, like, getting started is the most important part. And I would just say, as you practice, be open to new information. If you find a new way to practice, do that. It's
like you have, in order to, if you get scared of trying to practice things right, just go in a direction. Because if you find that you're going in the wrong direction, you know because you went. So then you just like, oh, okay, maybe I wasn't doing this.
What was that quote?
You know, well,
things, you can only see things like when you're moving. If you're stationary, it becomes dramatically harder to see things.
Yeah.
So, and by moving, in this case, is practicing. Like, if you're doing something, it becomes much easier to see. What crap? It's like a quote from something. I don't remember exactly what it is. Things become clearer when you're moving. Is that it?
I think so.
I don't remember. But basically what it means is move in a direction and things will tend to get a lot more apparent of what to do.
Yeah.
I don't remember who made the quote. I don't even know when I heard it.
I think there are definitely ways where some practice exercises are more efficient than others, but it also just depends on the person. Because for me, like, I find a lot of benefit in drawing a bunch of boxes and drawing bodies, breaking down bodies using boxes and trying to find the angles and stuff. But for some people, like, maybe they just don't like it and maybe it just doesn't work out for them. Yeah. And so they switch something else. And I find that as I learn more about art, there's just so many different ways to learn it. And as long as you get a good result, like, that's really all that matters.
Hey guys, what are your thoughts about drawing with only fine liners? It can definitely help with line confidence. Like, if you draw with something that's very unforgiving, it's very punishing, not necessarily in a bad way, when you make a mistake. So your brain learns to not make as many mistakes. Gene kind of describes it as more of like a party trick. Like, all of the really high level artists, like all the manga artists, all the people who make really good work, like, they start with a pencil a lot of the time. I think it's a good exercise, you know? It's a good exercise.
Hmm.
Did you accidentally mute the wrong person, Fox?
Oh. Unmute.
It's probably this person you meant to mute, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. All right. What work did you guys do before doing YouTube?
What did we do before doing YouTube? I was a concept artist. How do I... Oh, here we go. It's called something different. All right, Lanny. I'm going to put you in timeout for 30 minutes. We're kind of tired of all the queso jokes and stuff.
We're an art channel.
Bella, you're totally fine.
It was an accident.
Someone accidentally muted you because TikTok is difficult to use on mobile and chats move fast. Yeah, I was a concept artist. I worked on games. So I did concept art for games and stuff like that. And then Christine and I started doing art and teaching together. Mm-hmm. We published 2 books. We made online classes. We started TikTok and YouTube, a bunch of stuff like that.
See, like for me, if I were doing this, a part of me really wants to like try to make everything perfect and be like, I want to make sure that everything's like, the same proportions. And then the other side of me is like, I don't care. I just want to get the drawing done. It's good enough. Move on. Gonna try drawing 100 heads. Mm-hmm. Do it.
Hey, Maddie. Hope you do good.
Turnaround's important for a good portfolio as a concept artist.
I mean, I would say yeah. Like, it shows that you understand things from multiple angles, but you don't need a turnaround to prove that you understand the object in 3D. Like for example, right? Here's an artwork of mine, right? This is an artwork of mine that I made back in like 2016, all right? If an art director saw this, I wouldn't need to draw this from multiple angles for them to know that I could, because they can tell I know what I'm doing. So they can help, and I would say turnarounds could be great to show information, and it depends on what you're doing art for. If you're doing art for like an animation where you need the information about the character from every angle, then yeah, it would be pretty good. I would say it's probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea, but you don't need it. Like, it's just one of those things that I don't have any turnarounds in my portfolio. Like, I don't have multiple views of the same thing in my portfolio, and I got hired. I worked for a really long time, but it wouldn't hurt you.
I would say the turnaround is more of like, what information do you want to show to the person? Like, oh, if the back looks very different or has a specific feature, then you show the back view.
Yeah. And here's another thing, right? AI is terrible at turnarounds. It cannot draw the same object from multiple angles. It's not even drawing, it's generating an image, but like, so that's another reason to have them. I would say it's probably a pretty good idea,
Do what AI can't do.
Yeah, do everything AI can't do, which is a lot.
Yeah.
It's remarkably uncreative.
I think people underestimate that because it can create a pretty picture, that it basically can do everything, but there's a lot of things that AI can't do.
How do I learn anatomy like good? Study it. Draw it. Draw it from a bunch of different angles. Draw it from references, get books. You can get Bridgman's Constructive Anatomy. You could get something like this, which isn't an art book, Strength Training Anatomy, and go through and draw these. Mm-hmm. Draw them a bunch of times. Draw them like 10, 20 times. Go through and be like, okay, I want to understand how the arm bones work, right? How the radius and ulna and all that work. This breaks it down. And so you just draw this a bunch of times, mm-hmm. right?
And I would be like, okay, if you get intimidated by this arm and how to break it down, I would first find out proportions. Like, oh, this, roughly about the same length. So I just draw a line that's roughly the same length in the same angle, and then I build from there. Rather than trying to draw from top to bottom, like, oh, I'm going to draw this round thing. And then, maybe it's this long, and maybe this is this long, because you get distracted. Just focus on proportions.
Yeah, general
and
proportions.
Filling in the details later.
Yeah, that's how most people get really good at anatomy. They just do it a bunch of times. They break it down a bunch of different ways. They try to figure out what makes the most sense for them.
Is there a way I could give y'all my OC to draw without Discord? I can't get there. Usually if we do OC drawing on some days and you can't, and you don't have Discord, you can ask someone to post it for you. That's generally how other people would do it. But we only do it through Discord.
Yeah,
so
we
you would
don't
have to
hunt
ask.
down people's OCs, because then what happens is we're spending half of stream trying to find like 3 people's OCs.
Yeah.
And then someone has to go manually add it into the Discord server, in the channel, and but in the past, people have posted other people's OCs for them, and we're not against that.
Yeah, we're not
That's
against
fine, as long as it like follows the rules, you know.
And
So you'd probably
generally
have to find somebody in the Discord server that would be willing to post your character for you when
we do that event.
when we do OC drawing. It's easy to get overwhelmed with anatomy. Yeah, it is. It's complicated. I always recommend people start with figure drawing. Like
Yeah.
just basic human figure, you know? You can even just, if you want, just to do like a quick little human figure that's like based on, you know, like this would be the start of like figure drawing. This is not anatomical. This is proportional. There's the head. There's the torso. There's the leg. There's the other leg. Right? And then as long as this is proportionally accurate, you can add anatomy and form on top of this, and it's totally fine.
What I would make sure to do is I would be like, okay, I'll take my upper body, and I'll see if it's like as tall as the lower body. And if it's not, you know, that's okay. You can just change it up and stuff. But if it generally looks pretty good, then just move on to the next
So
stage.
you could take this body right here and just add anatomy on top of it.
Let's draw a girl because I drew a girl body.
Yeah, our books are on Amazon.
Yes.
We have 2 how to draw books. That proportional breakdown is actually in our book,
Yep.
in both of them. Yeah. I'll grab my iPad really quick.
Yep. So this is our book, How to Draw
Actually-
Characters. This is actually our second book. We don't have our first book on hand right now, unless we do actually.
It's somewhere buried
But
over there.
if you want to just draw the basics of anatomy and stuff, we teach more anatomy stuff in our first book. This one still teaches some anatomy, but it's more of like a review.
Yeah.
So let me go back to the body types. Is it here? Yeah, here it is, I think. Yeah, body types. We cover proportion. Let me see, right in here. We talk about some anatomy, just as a refresher of what we taught in the first book. And then we talk about proportion, again.
Yeah, that's that proportional system,
There it
that
is.
proportional breakdown that she just used. She did shorthand, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. Breaking down male and female body types.
I think people got our books in Germany before.
I think
I'm not sure.
so.
If you'd have to check if Amazon Print on Demand works in Germany. But yeah, this is our book. We are the authors. There's us on the back.
Yep.
There's us. And yeah. Is it good for beginners? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's foundations. It's good for anybody at any level. I mean, maybe not like someone who's like a, you know, an insane artist who already knows all that stuff. But yeah, it's definitely good for
It's more
beginners.
geared more for towards beginners and maybe like, you know, amateur intermediate. But a professional would look at this book and be like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty standard," I would say. I mean, we actually showed it to one of the one of your friends,
Yeah.
and he liked it. So
Yeah, you really liked it.
this is the part where things get, you know, more like squished, and this is where people are afraid to go outside the head. I used to think that when I'm drawing like a head like this, that's more at a 67.5 degree angle. I used to think I have to like squish everything like inside this head, but no,
Like stickers.
like stickers. But no, you just push the nose out,
Yeah, you can easily push that.
and that creates overlap, and actually looks more convincing than if I were to squish everything inside like one inside the head.
Is there a link for the book? Yeah.
Yes,
You
there
can
is.
find both of them.
And this is the head angle where you would actually see like the ball of the eye, like the eyeball, and the roundness of it.
You can check it out here to make sure I got that right. Yeah, so How to Draw Manga book and How to Draw Characters book are both on it. They're the 2 white buttons. Those will link you to our books. For anybody else who's wondering who doesn't see the link, it's because you're probably on TikTok. It's drawanime.com. You can find our books there. Or you could just look them up. Anime Academy, How to Draw Manga.
And the mouth. Some people like to, have the mouth in here. Totally fine. Some people like to push the mouth on this side, which, depends on the expression. I kind of like to go in between that. I'll show one side of the mouth. Whoops. And maybe another side of the mouth that kind of fades off into the distance. Works well. Works just as well. I'm laughing at myself because I used to draw buttons for nose. Hey, that's fun. That's cute.
That's legit.
It's legit. It's a cute style. Well, I mean, if you think about it, Animal Crossing characters have little button-like noses. It's literally just an oval, a triangle, and a square. How would you do a mouth open? For an anime character, the jaw typically doesn't really move that much. It actually just kind of stays the same. You would just open the mouth. And like if this person is smiling, I would make sure that one side is flat, the other side is curved, because that shows like depth, like it's kind of rotating to the other side.
What is that?
The mouth open.
Oh.
Something like that.
Yeah, you can do it like that.
This is not the best smile. But basically what happens with the mouth is that it rotates to the other side, so that's why you won't really see like both corners of the mouth on the same side. You'll just see kind of like a partial cylinder.
Yeah, if the mouth is open, there's also the ball of the mouth inside. The lips will stretch over it. So it depends how realistic you want to go with it. But, the lips stretch over it, and the teeth are like a half cylinder. Do you want to, show that?
Yeah.
How that works?
Can you say that again really quick so I don't...
The teeth.
Okay,
with the
yeah.
lips. It's like a half a hockey puck.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's your teeth. And then the lips will stretch over that, and you'll have a corner of a mouth, and the two corners of the mouth will be in perspective. So you'll have a point at which they come back to, like that sort of thing.
And they fold.
And this will be in perspective because it's symmetrical on both sides.
I didn't really draw his teeth all that accurately, so...
When do we usually go live? We go live Monday right now. I mean, an hour and 20 minutes ago we went live about. So Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific. But we've actually been going live at other random times as well when we feel like it lately.
So if you catch us on on a Tuesday or Thursday,
You'll just have to see when we're live. We've actually been going live at a little bit different times, but Mondays and Fridays for sure. At this time. From Hawaii, hello.
Hello.
Brush. You can get it for free on our link on our profile, or you can get it in the Discord server as well. If you want the invite to the Discord server, you can direct message us and ask for it. And I'll send it to you.
I'm also drawing my guidelines as if this was kind of like the front of a box. So it's not like I'm using this as the perspective, and I'm using like this to kind of mark the angles of my head.
Any tips for choosing a brush? Just experiment.
Experiment what works for you. Sometimes I find that brushes with no opacity kind of create this really cool effect on a drawing. Other times I kind of look for something that's more textural. Really depends on what you want.
Yeah. How to draw the hair sides if the hair is going to the left in a side view. I don't know what you mean exactly.
It's kind of hard to picture that. It's a bit complicated.
I would say find a reference of it and study it. Find someone with that actual hairstyle or something like that hairstyle and study it.
Study how they do the overlaps.
But hair will generally break down into ribbons. Do I have to learn the boxes, or can I skip it? I mean, it depends on what you want to get good at. Usually people don't like boxes because they don't understand them. They're not actually bad at all.
I would say maybe if you're avoiding them because you just don't feel like taking the time to do it, I would be like, just learn it because it's not going to harm you. It's actually going to benefit your drawing. I would say I rarely see a lot of professional artists that don't know how to draw a box.
I don't think there's any pros that have a good, versatility that can't draw a basic box.
Yeah.
I would say if you really don't like boxes, it's usually because there's like a lack of understanding. It's like we kind of don't like what we don't understand. Mm-hmm. So maybe, bite the bullet and really study them for a little bit. And then once you study it, you'll actually be like, oh, well, those aren't so bad. I kind of like it.
Yep.
But you don't have to draw a box in order to draw an anime head in it. Right,
no. Box is there to, guide you and to make things easier to see.
Yeah, Lou, I know what you mean. It's just a lot of practice, really. And really trying to draw those guidelines and get them accurate.
Mm-hmm. I actually drew this eye a little bit different, so now she looks like a different character. You know how like some details, like if you just add like one detail and you didn't add a detail for the other ones, it looks different. So like for me, I added a bottom lid that's flat. And if I look at this drawing, it's like completely different. Like sometimes if you want like someone with a different eye shape, you can just add like minor details.
Also got your books. I love them. Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Glad you like them.
So in here, I basically wouldn't really add eyelid because I didn't do that for the rest of these characters. Now it looks like the same character.
Ended up with 20 different characters. Look, if it makes you feel any better, why not just sell them as adoptables?
Oh, yeah, that's
Infinite
true.
money glitch.
Infinite money glitch. I really like that. Okay. And I feel like this should actually be rotated a little, make this a little bit higher.
Yeah, if Procreate's making your drawings really pixelated, I would res your canvas up, make it bigger. This canvas right here is 5,000 by 6,000 pixels. What are you saying?
I need to warp this a little bit. It's kind of hard. It's such a, it's a tiny drawing. It might be liquefiable, though.
I don't even know where liquefy is in the menu settings, dude.
I just want to shift this eye up a little bit more.
I find it takes so long to make adjustments in Procreate.
It does.
You're like, oh,
this window, that window.
There like you're like going to all these different menus, like way up here and then way down there and then way over there. It's like how they designed the QWERTY keyboard. It's
QWERTY, yeah.
It's like Procreate was designed to make every action as like far away as possible. It probably would be really good to just use with like a keyboard or something,
Yeah. This is the harder angle. At this point, I think I would just like...
People still buy that. I thought that was a DeviantArt thing. Buy what?
Adoptables.
Adoptable?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. The adoptable industry is huge.
It's a whole thing. Like, a lot of our community members actually do adoptables. So this is the part where I would have to look at some reference.
I don't do adoptables personally, but it's huge.
Feels like it would be something like
this. It's a big industry. Unless you're talking about Procreate. Procreate's, like, very popular. But, I don't know almost anything about adoptables. Tori's kind of our local adoptable expert. What is an adoptable? It's basically just like a character that you've made that you sell. I don't really understand it that much. Like, I don't know that much about it.
You're basically just designing characters to give away and sell them. Like, then the person who they have the rights to that character, and they can basically say, oh, this is my OC.
Yeah.
So it's like a fun thing that some people do on the side to earn some money. Some are very popular. Some are a little bit, like, it's kind of hard to find.
Sometime late and I missed out. You're using boxes to help with drawing the head.
Yep.
For the most part. Though they're not a sorrow. They're Kren's cubes. Just to help draw, in this case, anime heads. Mm-hmm. It's these cubes here. Basically these guys. Mm-hmm. If anybody's wondering on how to do these cubes, we actually did a recent live stream where I talked through the entire thing. I explained it. I explained how to draw it on a fisheye perspective grid. And I talked a lot about like fisheye lens drawing, how to, crop into different areas. I broke down some different artworks and how they work. Let me actually see if I can find that on my phone. I even talked about and broke down the perspective of, where is it? I don't even know where it is. Maybe you can just go back to drawing and I'll find it.
Okay.
I guess I could just find some of my own drawings. No, I'll try to find it. It's just on my camera roll. No idea. Too many pictures of our cats, dude. Here they are. If you've ever seen like these popular images online by Omao, like this kind of stuff, I broke down how they create the perspective grids for those. So like this one, for example, is a 45-degree fisheye lens with a tilted horizon line. This one right here is actually the exact same perspective grid. It's a 45-degree tilted horizon line fisheye lens. And I actually broke down how they create those camera lenses in a stream the other day. And it all links back into those Kren's cubes that you saw. And that's on a different stream from another day. And then this is kind of just like a continuation of it.
I find that this angle is a little bit difficult because it's like you're seeing the top of this, but you're also seeing the side. So I'm just going to angle it down a little bit.
You can start with them. Gene Bond talks a lot about them on his YouTube channel. Gene Bond Art, GENEBOND. Do you want to write that, please?
Mm-hmm.
Gene Bond Art. He has a YouTube channel. He talks a lot about that kind of stuff as well. We covered it on a recent live stream, and being able to draw boxes like where are they? That's actually that same perspective grid. That's probably kind of useful too.
How long should I spend drawing a sour head? Should they be quick? If you want to understand them, generally slower would be better. Because the sour heads are kind of complicated. I would say it depends on what's the purpose of drawing these sour heads. Is it to understand the head planes, or is it to just...
I don't think time matters. I think it has more to do with understanding.
Yeah.
However long or however short you need, and then practice them a bunch of times, I would say.
Mm-hmm. This is the part where it's like things get a little bit confusing, so I'm going to look at my references. Ooh, these are very nice. Okay.
How do I make a good pose and make it human-like? Study like the basics of posing, like contrapposto, bend and stretch, weighted leg, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Proportions of a human person. Because human proportions are pretty standard and pretty much like you won't... Arms and legs and the torso will generally look pretty similar in terms of length for multiple people. Like you don't have people with like insanely long arms that reach to like their calves.
Yeah. Is there a reliable way to learn body planes like the Asaro head does? The head doesn't really change forms that much. The body changes a lot, so people usually don't break down the body using planes like they do the head. Generally speaking, they just learn like basic anatomy, and basic like volumes of the body, like breaking down different parts of the body into, you know, that kind of thing. Where did you find your references? Christina's not actually using any references right now.
Well, if you're talking about these ones.
Oh, those ones.
These ones are from Pinterest.
I pulled those up earlier. I can post those, by the way, in the... I thought really you meant like what she was looking at to draw them. Mm-hmm. You were drawing those from imagination.
No,
right?
These ones were I was drawing from imagination. I was these ones I'm like, okay, I'm kind of seeing how they do it.
Yeah, I can post that in the Discord server. It's just a big image of some like Pinterest pictures that I collected.
I'm just trying to get the gist of it. This is very difficult though.
Yeah, this is like the meat and potatoes of drawing in 3D. This is the kind of thing that's like you practice this a lot and it takes you out of the world of like amateur art to like professional, like the professional world. It's the reason like stuff like this is the reason that so many people kind of stagnate for so long, is because you really have to go through this stuff if you want to break through certain plateaus. That's why Jean's having you do that homework as well.
Oh, yep. It's not perfect, but I'm not aiming for perfect.
Are you both professionals? Yeah. I'm more of an environment background artist. I was actually going to show my work earlier. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
I can show you what my art looks like. I only have it on my phone. I don't have my iPad in here.
I find that with this kind of angle, it's easier to actually draw a bit of like the clavicle area because it's like hard to tell with the neck.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, this is my art. This kind of stuff.
Hey.
I do mostly like well, this is old. These are really old. That's a collab between Christina and I. This is a painting. I like that. It's like a lot of the stuff that I do. Although these are really old now. I think this one was even like before 2020.
I always like it when people are like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" Like a flex, but it's like a secret flex.
Yeah, all this kind of stuff. I have a bunch of stuff like this. But more recently, I've started getting into like anime type stuff again. That's like an old portrait that I did.
I think one's way better now. You should show the June one.
Yeah, I did get a lot better.
Show the June piece.
These are old. These are like pre-2020. A lot of them. I don't even have that. Actually, no, I do have it. I think I saved it.
You sent it to me.
I've been working on this piece, this painting recently.
Turn you up your brightness too.
Oh, you want to turn up my brightness?
Yeah, because you can barely see anything.
It's just a dark piece overall, I think. There we go. Yeah, I've been working on this piece recently. This is June, our character.
Let's zoom in.
I can't. You're going to have to do it for me. Yeah, this is something I've been working on the last couple days on and off.
The car and stuff.
Yeah. And we got like...
Even just like cropped like this is also...
Yeah, I like that really too. Good. I wanted to draw a fisheye lens. That's why I drew all that back up in there. But yeah.
Police cars.
Nah, it's just brake lights.
Oh, okay. I thought they were police cars for a second.
Yeah, this was like the line work for it. Right here, the sketch.
Yeah, this is fisheye. You can see that there's like
that's
round
a fisheye lens. So, on a fisheye lens.
Want to show it here?
No, I'll just draw
okay.
a little thing. On a fisheye lens.
You're gonna have to draw very teeny tiny, or just put on another layer.
Whatever. It's on a new layer.
Okay, that's fine then.
So here's a fisheye lens. Here's your Y. Here's your X. Here's your. Basically looks like this. Here's your diagonals coming out from your Z axis. So like if I were to draw a box on this, it would look like this. Like that. So that's basically where the car is in that drawing. So the horizon line is towards the top. So my shot is literally cropped to about here. That's what my drawing is. So that's why all these lines are curved, and these ones are curved like this, right? And of course, you know, June's standing like here, and you've got like cars and stuff in the background, and you've got like a building kind of here like that. Mm-hmm. And so you can see it's a fisheye lens, but I'm kind of cropped into the lower area. And then and then I'm just painting it and lighting it and stuff. That's actually not the final one, is it? It's this one. I've like brightened the background a lot, so you can see. It's right there.
Did we ever post the OC draw from Saturday? Actually, I didn't. I'll post that today. I forget because it's not like I just save the image on like an iPad. I have to like take a picture. But I'll post it today.
More of a pen and paper girly. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's why we have this sketchbook here during stream to draw on when I get bored. See, here's more fisheye lens stuff in traditional art. That's like a 45-degree camera lens of a school bus. Actually, that's the same grid that I showed earlier with that girl leaning over the balcony. That's actually the same grid. I love pen and paper. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you post the OCs?
I did not. I'll post it today. Post it after the stream.
From my experience, if you want to learn drawing, art school is not the best place. It depends which art school.
Yeah.
It's like saying if you want to go fast, a car is not the best place. It's like
Not the
there's
best
slow
vehicle.
cars and there's fast cars. Yeah.
It
like,
depends.
It's like, there's definitely some good art schools out there. And there's definitely some completely, absolutely useless art schools out there. Look at this little butt. Look at this little baby.
He's not a butt. He's a
little
baby. He's in a little crib.
He's sleeping in his box and he's like flipped upside down.
We should actually just get another box to replace this so that we could return it to Grandma.
This is really really important stuff. Like if your goal is to become like a professional artist and like make a living off of your art, this stuff right here is like, it's really important stuff.
Hey, Saturn.
It's the backbone of so much stuff. That's part of the reason we're not doing art fight.
Yeah.
It's because we're kind of going through a training arc.
This is gonna be the end of me. These angles are very difficult because everything's so squished, and you're like, well, what do I show? What do I not? But you'll mostly see the nose popping out. The chin is barely even visible. Like you'll barely even see the eyes. It just looks like that. But even then, I feel like the way how I did the face looks like it's all like pushed to one side, and I don't really like how that looks.
What brushes do you guys use? Nightfall. You can actually get the brush on.
There we go. It should actually look more like this.
You can get the brush on this link. It's just a Google Drive download. It's completely free. Drawanime.com. That will just bring you to the page. It'll be the green button. It'll say digital brush. Gotta go. All good. Practice later. Gotta watch the stream you talked about. Sweet. And I actually put up a YouTube video recently where I drew. Actually, I bet you the paper that I drew on is in this sketchbook. Which was it? It was. Where was it?
I don't know.
It was probably this one here.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I covered how 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point perspective relate to the 5 point perspective grid, and I actually took that and turned it into a YouTube video. It's called. What's it called? The thumbnail says I will not gatekeep.
Maybe the most important perspective drawing lesson ever.
Yeah. This sheet was drawn on a live stream, and I took that live stream and I edited it and I turned it into a YouTube video. So if you want to know like the basics and how 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective, how do they relate to fisheye lenses and all that? Like if you think about them in like this separated way and you can't like get an idea of how they all interconnect, that would probably be a good video for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting my bachelor's degree. Oh.
June, Jun.
June.
We have a character named June.
Yeah.
So I love that name. Do you use this same brush for rendering? Funny enough,
Yeah.
Actually, funny enough, that painting that I just showed you of June actually
was done with that brush.
Yeah, I did like this entire painting is basically done with the brush that's being used on stream. Actually, this is not the most updated image.
Nope. I'm getting my bachelor's degree in illustration and minoring in 2D animation. Would I be on the right path to get into anime?
It depends what you mean by anime.
Yeah, like, do you mean like animation, like going to a Japanese studio and making anime as an animator anime, or do you mean like just drawing anime?
You just want to draw anime for fun.
Because if you want to draw anime, you should just be drawing it right now. Just doing
like
it.
if you want to get hired, yes. Do you mean like getting hired in Japan as an animator? How do you guys tackle discouragement with art or drawing? I'm sure people who are new to drawing feel like they aren't getting better. They wish to as fast as they want to. Yes, or in American Japanese studio. We don't animate.
Yeah, we don't.
So I think you should probably start sending some emails to some people. What I would do, personally, this is my secret method. I go watch my favorite shows and I look at the end credits and I see who's an animator and I try to find them and send them an email to asking them for advice.
Mm-hmm.
I did that with different game studios. I just went and bought like the art of Fallout 4 when I wanted to work at Bethesda. And I just looked through the book and looked at all the concept artists and I started adding them on Facebook and researching their work and looking into them and listening to talks that they do. And then I send them a message and go, hey, I really like what you do. I want to get hired where you are eventually. Here's my portfolio.
How do I get in?
How do I get in? Like, I'd love to hear back.
What do I need to work on?
5 out of 6 of them got back to me. One of them even offered to show my portfolio to his art director in-house. Want to do storyboarding, draw scenes, fight scenes, character development. I would recommend, there's a good YouTube channel out there called Modern Day James. He's an animator. He does a lot of storyboarding and animation type stuff. We don't do any animation. Maybe in the future we'll get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's how I do it. I just, start. That's networking, by the way. Everybody's like, I live in a country I can't network. It's like, bro, you have the internet. You're talking in chat. Go send some emails. Find some people on social media. Make your change your Facebook profile picture. Make yourself presentable. Make a LinkedIn. Make a LinkedIn and start adding people and messaging them and being like, hey, I really love your work. I'm interested in getting into that field. I would even do some preliminary practice. Just be like, practice for 6 months or 3 months or 6 months or a year and put together some work just so they know that you're not just like spam messaging them trying to get free advice, serious. But you're like actually dedicated. Like if a student messages me, I think like Kevin Romero is a good example of this. Kevin messaged us and he would have already been practicing for like a long time. And he was like, hey, like I want to get better. Anybody who's a regular knows Kevin. The way that we met him is he literally just reached out to me. He emailed me and he was just like, hey, I'm interested in, learning what you have to teach. And I set up, a call with him and he was already practicing a lot. He had a whole bunch of art and now he's like a regular. He's a good friend.
Well, he's like even going to different studios and talking to the people there and stuff. I think actually the bottom is actually the easiest because all you have to think about is the ears and the nose and just rotating.
Although I gotta say that last one's a wide head. Dude.
It is a really wide head, unfortunately, because I try to fit it in the square.
It's just select and squish.
Oh, yeah.
Digital.
Well, there we go.
Ketsu's great. Yeah. What's your take on mangas? Do you think it's a stable job or more of a side job? Look, this is really interesting, right? This is something that I'm very interested in. What manga really is it's storytelling, right? Most people who make a living on like YouTube as writers, as webcomics, they're all doing storytelling. And so manga is just a medium to tell a story. And so if you get really good at storytelling, I think you can always make a living. You can always make a living from it because the human brain is a story processor and it's not a logic processor. It understands the world through story and meaning. So I think storytelling is always going to be a viable career.
Because people like stories.
And any medium you can use to tell a story. Like I can guarantee you there's someone out there who like tells stories through like, I don't know, putting googly eyes on vegetables. And they probably make a living off of it. Mm-hmm. And if they're good at storytelling, you'll entertain people, and you can make a living off of it.
I have this duplicated, so all these little notes are on a different layer. I'm going to put hair on these.
How do you guys tackle discouragement with art or drawing? I'm sure people who are new... Did I read that earlier? I don't think I ever answered it, though. I'm sure people who are new to drawing feel as if they aren't getting better, like they wish. One step away from annoying orange. Yeah! That's a good point. That was huge, right? So, discouragement when drawing. I dealt with that a lot. And I still deal with it at times. I feel like it stems, at least from me, from impatience and the idea that I have a scarcity of time and comparison as well. If I'm comparing myself to another artist who's better, then I'm going to feel not good about that. And if I'm going, I should be further than I am, be really aware of when you start using like should, like I should be here or I should be better than I am. It's like a trick that your brain pulls on yourself to make yourself depressed. Be very aware of feeling a sense of urgency, like a sense of urgency, like I should be further than I am. It's like you are where you are. You are where you are.
Yeah.
That's what really helped for me. Because what ended up happening to me is I went to a design school and I had classes with a bunch of other students, and I burned out in art really bad after I graduated school. And so all of my classmates, like I went on to work professionally as well, but they went on to work and they got really, really, really good. And I kind of stagnated for a long time. And so I was feeling insecure because like my classmates were getting better and I wasn't. And it's a comparison. And it's also this idea that like I should be better than I am at this age or whatever. It's like there's no, those are like all mental things that your mind, it like plays tricks on yourself.
Well, it's very toxic because it's like kind of doesn't really help you anyways.
Yeah, it's a trick.
It's a trick. Yeah.
So just be careful of your mind playing tricks on you, trying to make you depressed.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. It's weird, right? Because it's like your brain is like trying to help you by sabotaging you and just understanding that it does that. Your brain's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to protect you from being sad by making you sad about something else.
By making you not disappointed in the future. It's almost like they're trying to protect future you.
Yeah.
And then it actually becomes like a toxic mindset.
Yeah, Mr. Nate, it is Procreate. Do you guys know how to draw wings? I think so.
I mean, if I look at some reference, I'll be able to. But I don't think I can draw from the top of my head.
Is the design character book available at ebook? No, it's not. Maybe someday. Yeah, I think beginners, like, they just need to be patient with themselves. This takes a long time to get good at. And also celebrate small wins. Like, if you make an artwork and it doesn't turn out amazing, you probably learned something from that artwork. Like, I'll make an artwork and I'll feel like the artwork wasn't a success. But I'll be like, but I did have some wins. I learned how to draw a foot better, or I feel like I really drew this nose very well, right? Those are wins. So don't dismiss your wins because you didn't hit a home run. Mm-hmm. That's like a huge deal, because you can always find reasons that like you wish you did better. You can always find things that you could have done better. Look for the things that you did do well. Like, man, I think that color is really good. Or, man, the proportion of that body is really good.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of people think that in order for a good artwork to count as an artwork, it has to be perfect in every single way.
Yeah, and it's just not true. Even finishing a work is a win for me. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. That could be another win.
Like, sticking it out and actually finishing it when you wanted to finish it, or even when you didn't want to finish it, is like, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding the intention of the image, right? Sometimes, like, your sketches, maybe the reason why your sketches actually generally look better than your finished one is because of stress.
Yeah.
So, like, when you're not stressed, doodles on your sketchbook on lined paper in your schoolwork tend to be better. And I feel like that showcases your skill more than panicking and stressing and trying to make this thing look good because it's a blank piece of paper. Like, honestly, I find that sometimes doodles really highlight how far you've come.
Yeah.
More than a more polished drawing would sometimes. Because it's about stress. Like, for me, like, you can tell what a stress drawing looks like. You can tell that your proportions are off, even though you technically know the proportions. It just won't feel like it's free. So trying to eliminate all the things that make you like feel trapped generally makes the drawing better, if that makes sense. But there is a way to get better without trying to like wing it all the time, and that's when the hardcore practice comes in.
Like foundation.
Yeah, just foundation. Sometimes for most people it takes just getting a class and just doing the work and being present.
Oh, hey Dingy.
Hey Dingy, been a while.
Alma and Apollo, thank you for the follows. Ooh, that kind of rhymed, didn't it?
Oh,
Rocks,
yeah.
thank you for the follow. Pompo, thanks for sharing the live. Yeah, pretty much all of the advice, or I guess just yapping, is based on personal experience. I was really burned out in art and had a very toxic mindset with it for a really long time. I think it kind of developed in art school. Like hardcore art schools can really mess you up like mentally with how you perceive things.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're on a time crunch. You have a lot of drawings to do, and also there's like the environment, like the culture of the art school can be kind of toxic sometimes, or a lot of the time.
Probably the most important perspective drawing lesson ever. I do like that. I do like that video. I feel like I want to like remake it.
Do another version.
Yeah, like do another version. I could actually go
like
ahead
maybe
and
just do like another polished version, or not polished, but like more like maybe edited, more kind of like cinematic, not cinematic. Less casual, perhaps. But that'd be really cool. I would love to see that.
All right, I'll post that head angle reference. I'll just put it in like live demos for everybody. Bunch of head angle reference. It doesn't really have like, and again, like these head angles, the reference that I just posted in the Discord server, like I didn't like boxes, the Kren's cubes and the boxes in from different angles comes before this.
Yeah.
Like this is the type of stuff that you would like, the boxes are the thing that you would want to practice for weeks, if not months, as like a preliminary to this.
Notice how like the reason why I added these ponytails right here is because I want to show like how they move in space as the head is turning, so you can see that the placement of the ponytail has basically shifted. In fact, this actually needs to be more shifted towards the side and actually a little bit downward. There we go.
Yeah. There's this set of books that you can get, I guess. It's like a Kickstarter or something. I think I don't know a lot about the books. They look pretty good. But the title of them is How to Think When You Draw. And I actually think that's a really good title.
I like that.
Because that's actually really what getting better is.
Thinking while you draw.
Yeah. It's like when you get better at art, like chat, have you noticed this? Like as you get better, it's like all you're really getting better at is like staying conscious while you're making lines, right? You're just like, look at an old drawing of yours and you're like, what was I thinking? And the answer is nothing, like you weren't. And as you get better, it's like you kind of just become able to stay awake while you draw, or like you can basically like draw and also remain like conscious and analytical in your thinking. That's like what it's like, because like your hand is capable of making the stroke. Like it's not like a physical limitation where you're like trying to lift a weight that's too heavy. It's like a pencil, right, on a page. Physically, you're capable of making the drawing. It's just like a mental game. I thought it was funny, but it's
It
a
was
really
funny.
good title of books. How to Think While You Draw.
I like
it's
that.
Like, yeah, it's like just a series of learning how to not like black out while you're placing a line down. It's really interesting.
I like that one over there.
What one?
Just those ones. Those nicely
Those up
dainty ones.
these
Yeah.
ones? Yeah, those
Looks
are
like
really nice.
Tira.
Yeah, those are nice. I like black out when I'm drawing. Yeah, it's so funny how that is. It's like I'll look at like really old figure drawing work of mine from like 2020. I'm just like I literally like my brain was not even like activated while I was drawing that.
Brain wasn't it?
Completely inactive. No, like if you ran a brain scan while I was drawing, it would just be blank. They'd think they were like scanning like a cadaver or something.
Oh my gosh. It's horrible. I want to like compare it with like if you practice an instrument and you have to go and do a competition or like a test. Sometimes for me, if I get like, I'll practice the song so many times that the muscle memory kicks in, and sometimes I'll just like zone out and my hands will move. Sometimes that also happens when you're drawing, is like your hand knows the movement so much that you're like, oh, I didn't even have to think either. So it's like kind of both ways, where there's one part of you that when you're drawing, your brain isn't thinking, and so that's why the drawing turns bad. And then the other side is when your brain is on autopilot because you practice it so many times, and then it turns out pretty decent. Sometimes that does happen. Someone asked, any advice for people with aphantasia?
Some of the funny thing is, some of my most successful artist friends have aphantasia. I have a friend who's the main art director at one of the biggest concept art studios in the world, and he has aphantasia. I talked to him about it before. He doesn't memorize things by what they look like because he can't, so he understands the function of things. Like if he wants to learn anatomy, he's like, okay, where does the tricep connect to and what move is it causing the arm to do? And so that's kind of how he learns stuff. But like a lot of people with aphantasia, they don't know they have it for a long time, so it's just like
They just live with it.
they just live with it. And there's a lot of really successful artists. What was that other artist who has aphantasia? Was it Aaron Blaise? Does he have aphantasia?
Yeah, I think it was Aaron
Like
Blaise.
a really, really successful Disney artist that has aphantasia. There's a lot of really successful artists.
You should make a mini manga book. We actually do want to make
I
a
know I would love
comic.
to. Awesome Drumstick. That's great. You know, if
Yeah.
you're and anybody else who's new here, you know, if you're looking for a place to hang out, learn how to draw and chill, we do stream a lot. We stream Mondays and Fridays right now, and then in between,
If we feel like it, then we'll stream.
yeah, and we've been streaming extra lately. And we also have a Discord server. If you want to join the Discord, you can send us a direct message on TikTok and ask for the invite, and I'll send it to you.
We also have a school that we made, which is called Anime Art School. And if you want to learn all this stuff more in depth and actually have like a program for you to be accountable in and assignments that actually grow your skill, you can check that out in our profile.
Yeah,
And
like
if you
a
do
lot of
get
the
it-
stuff you'll see on the stream,
You do get it.
we do teach that in our school.
Yeah.
And you also get goodies, you know.
Yeah,
you get
you
a
get some
watercolor
goodies.
drawing of your character. You get both of our books signed for free, and we'll ship it to you.
This is just a random character. This is not even an original character. I mean, I guess it is original because I don't know, it's just kind of popped into my head. But it's not meant to be like a thing. It's just a one-off.
Do you two have hyperphantasia? I don't know.
what
I don't
that
really
is.
think about it a
I
lot.
don't think about it.
I don't really think about it too much. I just practice and try to get better at art.
Will you
Applejack
guys
is
ever
very
do?
comfy.
He is very comfy in there. Will you guys ever do a render/color theory/light focus class? Actually, that's one of his painting classes.
Render, color theory, light focus class. Yeah, I have a class in anime art school that is all about that. I can show you some of the images from that. This kind of thing. So this is actual work from the class, by the way, that I teach. So like there's how to render primitive objects. We actually go in and draw a room, block it out, and then render everything using color and light. Let's see. This, we do different material studies. Here's boba cup, here's stone, here's wood with barbed wire. I teach you how to calculate cast shadows like this, so you can do this kind of stuff. This is earlier in the class before the room. Here's some of the different material studies. Here's some of the cast shadow calculations. Yeah, I teach all that in my lighting class in anime art school. So yes, I do teach that. I'm the person who teaches that kind of stuff.
So someone is asking like, what's the strategy here with the head? So we basically drew Kren's cubes, which is a way to draw boxes in different angles. And then we took that and drew heads on top of that using the Kren's cubes as a base to find the angle of the head.
Are you going to post this on TikTok here after you finish? No. This
No.
gets posted in the Discord server, and then the live stream is recorded on YouTube because we're also live streaming there.
So here I'm just adding hair because it's fun.
Yeah. So drumstick, basically, we have some past live streams where we talk about Kren's cubes. This is what they look like, and it's really just a ratio of seeing the sides of boxes, and then the next step after that is going and putting them on grids. All these boxes then get applied to grids, and you practice that a whole bunch of times, and then you get really good at drawing them. So like here's an example of it without the guidelines.
Ooh,
You practice this a whole bunch of times, and then you start modifying the boxes. And what Christina's just doing today is basically just adding anime heads inside of them. I have a video where I talk about that stuff. I talk about like how 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point perspective relates to this, fish eye grid, and how the Kren's cubes kind of. I don't think I actually talk about Kren's cubes in that video. I more talk about like 1, 2, and 3 point perspective and why they are the way that they are. I find that a lot of people learn perspective, but they only like know the motions of doing it. They don't really know why it looks the way that it does and what the limitations of it are. It's almost like people know how to drive a car. No, I'm trying to think of an analogy. It's like understanding something from a deeper level, so you can really understand like what the limitations of it are. That's kind of what this kind of stuff is.
Drawing hair like this is very difficult because it forces me to figure out how to.
So is that an OC or is it an anime character? I think she's just drawing a random character.
Just a random character. Oh, I forgot to draw the rest of her hair here.
Applejack's so silly, dude. He's like stepping around.
How the other kitties doing? They're probably sleeping. I have the cat TV on, so they're probably like zoning
This is
out.
literally what Applejack looks like right now.
Oh my god.
He's completely upside down.
He switched positions.
He keeps rolling around.
He likes it.
Yeah, he loves that. He's been sleeping in there
honestly,
almost the whole stream.
Rub his stomach like just a tiny bit. See if he like.
Nah, he's already like
Oh.
kind of switched a little bit.
He doesn't really care if people touch his stomach.
No.
Unlike other cats, Poppy's more
Poppy's very
sensitive
finicky.
with where she likes me to be touched.
Poppy's very sensitive whether she allows us to come out of the room on a day or not. She's just like, go back in, peasants.
She is kind of like a queen,
don't
and
think
other
I
times
feel like
she's very
dealing with you.
sweet.
I don't think I feel like dealing with you today. No, Applejack's not named after MLP. It's Applejack was named after the cereal from
Cereal.
from
Shelter.
the rescue, the shelter. So Applejack was in a batch of 8 cats, and they named every cat after a different type of cereal. And Applejack was Applejack. So technically, his name was Applejacks with an
Yeah,
S.
that's right. But we call him Applejack.
Yeah, we call him
I
Applejack.
don't know why that happened, actually. So every time that I think about hair, I'm always thinking in layers and different sections. So like bangs is like the front. I'll just color this in really quick again. Bangs is my front. The side thingies are located on the side. So these little side bangs right here, they go on the sides of the head. And then the back is usually like context. So there's more layering.
You like Simeon? Awesome.
Oh, awesome. I like Simeon too. He's fun. Well, technically, these are actually on the side as well.
Your
These
cat adopted you. I think they all think that, don't they?
They all do think that, huh?
Oh, yes, these are my, I don't know. We should make the pigtails like
masters.
purple.
Oh, the pigtails as purple is kind of cute, actually. Because they are separate.
Don't they usually separate the side thingies from the back of the head hair as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you made the inside blue.
Yeah, I made the inside. Well, I technically wanted this to be blue anyway, so like this will
okay.
all be blue. So this is very roughly colored, but this is what I think about.
Yeah.
Front, side, back.
Oh, you got more cats? We have 3 cats. Oh, there's Applejack.
Hi, Applejack.
Nope, going back to sleep. He's like, nah, I'm just standing up so I can lay back down.
Good boy. Oh, he's so cute.
He is very cute.
He's very
His
cute.
little
Doofus face.
His little silly face. I just want to like see that.
Oh, look at the little punch on the side.
Bro, talk about bend and squish.
It's so like.
It's literally like Jello. He's a Jello cat.
His face is very fun to like just knead.
Like literally, it's like this. Like you could turn him into like Play-Doh and.
Wait, I need to
Have
see
y'all
that
seen that
squish.
that
It's so
pig
cute.
that little squishy pig thing that they like throw on the ground? That's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And then they go, and they like slap it back and forth.
Ah,
It's like a TikTok.
thank you.
Yeah, I think you're using too light of a touch.
Oh, okay. I love this part. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Good form.
Cats are liquid. Yeah, they are.
They're more like Jello. Slime.
They are slime. I actually have a bunch of anime heads that I did that I haven't put on my phone at all yet. I need to go tinkle.
Okay.
You're a good kitty, yeah. Oh, that's a good kitty.
Looking through your characters, I like Simeon's design. I like Dr. Scientist, Heart, Herbologist looks. Oh, yeah. I think that what was super fun about making that book and making all those characters is that there's just so many like different vibes to explore, and finding how they all like match or how they all play into like a specific story is just really, really, really fun. What iPad do you guys use? This is the iPad Pro 13-inch. Here we go. And at this point, you know, once you've started to get used to drawing all this stuff, it kind of starts feeling more like Zen. Like you're playing a mindless game. Because you're just doing the same thing over and over. Technic polyvalent draw? What is that? Spawned one day and now she stayed. Actually, that was how Poppy came into my Colin's parents' lives. Is she just was in the back patio, sleeping in on an abandoned couch, like in the patio, and she one day came in because it was cold outside, and they kept her. She didn't want to go, and now we have her because they have a different moving situation and pet situation, so we're keeping her. I hear steppies. Go. Ew. Look who's here, guys. Baby Toby.
It's a baby Toby.
Look at his cute little snout. It's like a little upside down heart.
He's so tired.
I love the snout. Cat snouts are like so chubby and cute. They just look like little. Like this shape is just so cute. I just want to go like, oh. I need to draw cats better.
I've been thinking about getting into some creature drawing.
That's dumb looking.
Good boy, Toby.
he won't mind being shown. Hi there.
Good boy.
Good boy. Yeah.
He's tired.
He is tired. He can't resist.
A long day of sleeping makes me so tired. A long day of doing literally nothing. He's so cute. Come here, baby.
Oh, it's a good kitty.
Like a good kitty.
A long day of doing absolutely nothing.
Actually, I do a lot of these drawings, kind of similarly to I remember doing a lot of these type of drawings in our expressions course. Did a bunch of expressions and just drew the same characters like 42 times, and that is how you memorize a character that you designed, and you're like, I need to get this right. Is just draw them a billion times.
Yeah.
You can make a reference sheet. You can just get their hair right. And it takes a lot of experimenting when you want to memorize a character. I'm probably just going to do one last one because I'm kind of getting bored. Maybe I'll continue it at another time.
I didn't know you were going to do hair.
Oh. Do you want to move on to something else then?
Move on to probably ending the stream.
Sure. We'll wrap up then.
You're so silly. You're a little silly baby.
Mm-hmm.
Poopy foot? Little Toby Dookie foot? You step in your poop every time you poop?
What?
Probably your little kitty talk.
Do you step in your poopy?
And then flick it all over the walls?
Yes, I do.
Ugh.
Well, chat,
Yeah.
I think I'll just merge all this.
I said the word poop and you say, where? Let me step in it.
This is fun.
Oh, now he started purring.
Oh, he's so silly. Good little chocolate toe beans.
I don't know if you can hear
I
it.
don't know, I couldn't hear it.
No, it's
No.
kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Silly little baby. You smell so sour.
Stinky little baby. You need a shower. I love that silly song. It's one of the funniest songs I've ever heard in my life.
You smell like pee and poo.
He's so tired.
I know.
They played a lot earlier today, so I'm just having a little nap time.
You know, we should be more like cats with art. Just not even worried.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And making content. So cute. Oh, I clipped Poppy's other foot earlier, and she did pretty good.
Weirdo. He's like dreaming or like kicking or something.
No, he's awake.
Yeah, I know, but he's like kicking.
Hi there.
Hi, dear.
You want to get up?
All right. All right, baby. Look, it's Applejack. See him?
That was a good drawing session.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like this color in here. It's fun.
All right, that sounds. What is this music that's playing? I don't
I
remember
don't know.
putting this.
I guess you did end up putting in it.
I just started a different song. Oh wait, I'm supposed to brainwash chat. I remember now.
Make it sad.
Saved, sad. Here we go. There we go. It's probably pretty loud for you guys. Good.
It's supposed to be.
Chat, we have to end the stream. I know this isn't easy, but we will meet again. You know what we should do? You can barely hear the music.
Let's turn it up.
How's that? Can you hear it now? Let's just like look at the camera, just like.
No blinking?
I don't care if you blink.
Fox, don't jinx us.
It's okay, Rena. We'll meet again.
Maybe it's because I'm opening my eyes really wide instead of being like natural. It's like intensely staring at chat. How long are we gonna be doing this? Staring?
I like this song. I'm just listening to it.
Okay. Ooh, nice string instruments.
This is the song we found when TikTok was gonna get banned the first
Oh,
time.
and I cried that time.
That was such a whole lot of nothing. Hold up.
We should just ban.
Okay, there we go.
Thanks.
Oops, I didn't want to do that. There we go.
This is the first time I heard the background music today. What?
Really?
So our background music all this time was like super
It's
low.
probably stinking TikTok being stinky.
Probably.
Primary microphone, primary speaker. Okay. Maybe that'll work better. Maybe to like turn up the music a little bit. I don't know. You never even heard it until now. That's
wow.
fine.
Basically, there was a musicless stream today.
Well, at least you heard it now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody.
Have a good night.
Hold up.
We'll have a good song to play.
Yay! It's not bad. It's not bad. The good news is that we're going to meet again.
It's the Hope Core.
Hope Core. Oh, dang, that reminds me. There's a couple songs I want to listen to. What was that song? It's like the most nostalgic song ever. I found it yesterday. What was it called?
I don't know.
I gotta find it.
It's basically gonna be another 15 more minutes.
Chat wants to listen to this.
Thanks, Lily. Bye, Violet.
Comfort Chain.
Comfort Chain.
I need to listen to that song.
Take a picture of it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you later on in the week. Probably, honestly, before Friday.
Maybe.
Although we do have a stream planned for Friday.
Yes.
We have class all day on Wednesday, so we probably won't stream then. It's either probably going to be Tuesday or Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And bye-bye, YouTube.